Right, on the line with me right now, Wolf Hoffman from Accept. Wolf, thanks for joining me today.
Hello, my friend. How are you? Great to be with you.
Excellent. Now, after the previous album, Blind Rage, you toured Australia for the first time. How did you enjoy that?
We enjoyed it very, very much. Very friendly people there, great atmosphere. Everybody was very excited to see us. And it seemed like some fans had traveled long distances to finally see a band they've, followed and have known about for many years. So, yeah, it was awesome.
Very important question. Did you get to meet that kangaroo you wanted to?
No, we never got to see a single kangaroo because we were kind of in and out of the country, and that was my kind of disappointed. But hey, man, we saw the Sydney Opera House. That was cool. We had some fantastic coffee. I'm a coffee junkie, so I can't say enough about the fantastic coffee you guys have down there. Very envious.
The tour for the Blind Rage album seemed to go on for quite a while. Was that the case?
Oh yes, it did. It did. It did. Longer indeed than most any other tours we've ever done for an album. Almost 3 years. Yeah, because it was really successful, and we wanted to really travel to parts of the world that we normally wouldn't go to. We played a lot of festivals. Yeah, it was really successful. So now we have brand new songs, a brand new album, Rise of Chaos, and it just was released coinciding with the show we did at the Wacken Festival in Germany a few weeks ago. So it's ready to play those new songs to some Australian fans.
This album, we've got a couple of new members. At which stage did Herman and Stefan leave? Was that at an awkward time?
It was right after, I can't remember for sure, but it was sort of in the middle of touring, actually. I think right after Blind Rage came out, and we found some fantastic new members. Uwe Lulis on guitar, German guitar player, was been in a German band called Gravedigger for many years. Fantastic guy. And a drummer from Nashville called Christopher Williams. So he's almost local to us because Peter and I now both live in Nashville, Tennessee in the U.S. So, yeah, we have a local drummer now, which is great. The three of us can actually jam all the time.
Now, at what stage did we start working on the new album, Rise of Chaos? When did that start taking place?
We spent most of last year when we were not touring, writing the material, Peter and I. The songwriting process always with Peter and myself, and we just sit there for countless days and weeks and months and just sort of trade off licks and riffs and just hammer out the first basic ideas of these songs. And then when we feel like we have enough halfway decent song material, we'll involve Mark and then finally the other guys. So it's a step up process, but it took quite a long time this time. Maybe it's because we've been making so many albums lately, back to back. It just took a little longer. I don't know why, but it did.
Now you're working with Andy Sneap again, the fourth time working with him. You must feel comfortable working with him.
Absolutely, or else we wouldn't do it. Absolutely, he feels like a brother. It's incredible. I can't believe it's really been four albums in 8 years and a live album, and I made a solo album in between. We've been incredibly productive these last 8 years. So, yeah, Andy Sneap definitely on board again. He's a fantastic producer, and like I said, he feels more like a friend than sort of an outside guy at this point.
Tell us about the album, Rise of Chaos, just been released.
Well, 10 songs, 10 very strong, very typical Accept songs, I'd say. And we didn't want to really change anything as far as the stylistic approach going. We really said to ourselves, let's make songs that are not any different from before. They're just better than ever. Stylistically, they're exactly like songs we could have written 30 years ago, just never did. That's the goal. We just want it to sound modern, but really want the songwriting to be very, very typical traditional Accept stuff. And that's an easy motto, but it's quite hard to do at times because, we've already done so many albums and you're always tempted to go to try something that we've never done before, something totally unusual, but we know that's not what fans want to hear. They like us for a reason, and we want to give it to them.
Now, Accept has always touched on some pretty difficult subject matter, and that continues on this album, like especially with Kool-Aid. Tell us about that.
Yeah, man, we always write about themes and lyric content. We always use stuff that's either an actual event, a current event, or something historic. And in the case of Kool-Aid, we just like the phrase "Don't drink the Kool-Aid," because in the U.S. that's sort of like a saying, meaning like don't be an idiot, don't believe everything people tell you.
Oh, okay.
And when I did the research, I found out, my God, it came from this actual event where almost 1,000 people committed suicide in the jungle, just because some cult leader told them to drink that stuff, and they used that, like a fruit drink to make it taste better. I guess they pretty much poisoned themselves voluntarily just because somebody told them to. And thought, wow, that's a cool story. It's gruesome, but man, there's a story there. There's a song there, So that's the background of that song.
Now, you're on tour at the moment?
Yes, we are.
Now, you're coming down to Australia again, which is great, but you're only doing one show. What's the deal with that?
I know. We don't have time for more. It just sort of worked out that way, but we thought one is better than none, and here we are. We're just passing through on our cruise around the world. We're coming from Japan and making a quick stop over in Australia. Maybe next time it's going to be more shows. I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Like I said, I love it down there.
What can we expect this time around? All these albums you've got out now, how do you go fitting all these new songs into the song list? It must be a nightmare to narrow it down to a set list for a show.
It kind of is, because you don't want to play the same stuff all the time. And in this case, we said, let's just try something a little more unusual and play more new songs and more old songs. So we actually mix it up quite a bit, but I don't want to give it all away quite yet. But we're going to present a lot of the new material. And another thing we want to do, we made this pledge to ourselves. We want to, wherever we go in the world, bring more production, because last time we came through, we hardly just brought the guitars and some other essentials, basically no stage set and nothing. But this time we're going to bring a whole lot more gear with us. And I think it's going to look and sound a couple of notches up. So I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited too, because I'm coming over from Adelaide and I've never been to the venue that you're going to play. So, but I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things about that place, so I'm very excited. Where to after Melbourne?
Melbourne, we're going to get back to the U.S. And later on, shortly after that, we're going to South America for like 4 weeks. Shortly after that, we're going to start the European leg of the whole endeavor. And so the craziness starts all over. It's insane, the amount of traveling that we do. I mean, normal people always like, if I tell our schedules and our itineraries to like normal people of the outside world, they think we're nuts, But it's part of the fun, man, to just zigzag around the globe and, what you love to do. But man, the travel part of it is insane.
Yeah. Now, when I spoke to you last time, we touched on when you basically reformed, you and Peter jamming and then bringing in Mark and then deciding to do it again, And you said if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. I mean, here we are, 4 albums later, touring Australia for the second time, about to embark on another crazy world tour. Did you ever picture that?
No, we couldn't. I mean, when you do these things, you kind of leave that sort of blank. You just hope for the best, but don't really anticipate anything in particular. You always think, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll give it our best. We'll give it our best shot. And if fans like it, then the sky is the limit. So that's how you approach it. You never really can say, we have to reach this and we've got to be there by that time, or where do you want to be 6 months from now? You can't think like that as an artist or as a rock musician. You just do what you do and the things sort of fall in place. But in our wildest dreams, we would have never really anticipated all this. Couldn't.
Must make you feel good.
It does, very good.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we're here to do. This is what we love.
Anything you wanted to add in?
Just very excited to come back to Australia, and hopefully fans will like the new album. So far, it's gotten fantastic reviews from people around the world. So, you know, can't wait to see everybody down there again, down under. Where does that even come from, down under? From your perspective, we are down under, so it's all relative.
Wolf, absolutely magnificent talking to you again. Can't wait to see you again in Melbourne very shortly at 170 Russell Street, which is very good, I hear. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you very soon.
See you very soon. Awesome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Wolf. Okay, bye.